Lucas.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, dang it. That's when, firstly, I go off into what is your name and where you're from?
My name's Lucas. I'm from Los Angeles.
Los Angeles? What area?
Palos Verdes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, I think a big part, like I was telling you, is I like to kind of go in a little bit of the past, a little bit, and then kind of get into some solution of what works for you. I'm always fascinated of what works for people. It can be different for some people what has worked, but the biggest thing that I've seen, and I want to see if it resonates with you as a part of your story, is like, in therapy, or working one on one with people, is you have to feel it to heal it. So a part of the journey is like really going deep and like peeking behind the curtain and going there. And so I want to see how that kind of plays out into your story and how it's been. So first off, so you're in recovery,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So when did using substances begin?
I had a couple occasional beers, when I was like nine,
Yeah.
10, but I started, smoking weed and becoming regular with drugs around like 11 or 12.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang. So, where did you get the beers from your parents or?
Yeah, I'm Italian, so the family's really open with like drinking on vacations and things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Dang. So, what ended up? So you end up having a couple drinks, and did you? Can you remember that? Like, it kind of made you feel away, or when did you
Um,
start to recognize that?
Well, initially, like with alcohol, I wasn't really a huge fan.
Okay.
It made me kind of sick. I used to get the spins, and I was just like,
Ugh.
I don't really like it that much.
Yeah.
For drugs though, it was kind of like a one and done type of thing, like people talk about in the program.
Hmm. So okay. So what ended up being your drug of choice, or what, like opiates?
Opiates and benzos. Yeah.
So when was your first experience using opiates, and how did that come about?
I was probably 14 or 15, and I had a friend who was a little bit older than me, and she asked me to go, pick something up with her, and I thought she was talking about weed because that's all I had tried up until then. Anyway, I went with her, and there was some guy, that was there with a bunch of pills,
Mm.
and that's what she ended up buying. And when we got back to her house, she just kind of like gave me some. She's like, "Here, you can have these ones," and I was like, "Well, what are they?"
Mm.
And she's like, "Oh, well, it's a painkiller, and like that one's Xanax." Still didn't really know, so I went home and like did some research stuff and saw what they were, and I took one of each, and like I was just like immediately hooked.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
quick. Yeah,
That combo too. You got introduced to like the best combo if you like opiates.
yeah,
And an opiate, and then you had a Xanax on top. Like, come on now.
yeah, for
That's the
sure.
thing. So, growing up in your childhood and even before all this, like, how was your household? How was the family dynamic? How are you?
Um, it was pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
My dad was struggling with a lot of his own addictions.
No.
Uh, my mom was, trying to take. I'm one of five, so there's a lot of kids. My mom was running around a lot, tending to a lot of other children, and they got separated when I was pretty young. So my mom was like focusing a lot of her time on her job, so she could support herself without,
Mm.
without my dad financially. So essentially, it was just me and my twin brother who were, you know, just alone at home a lot, just kind of getting into whatever we wanted to, and it gave me a lot of freedom to use drugs and not really have any consequences.
So, did she ever catch you using substances ever? And
She was okay with me smoking weed. She helped me get my medical card when I was like 14.
mm.
Um, but the couple she had caught me doing pills a couple times, right? But not like I remember the first time she said something. I went upstairs and was trying to talk to her, and she said, "What are you saying?" She was like, "You're slurring."
Mm.
I can't understand you. And I just like turned around and went right back downstairs.
Mm.
But she didn't like follow me and say like what's going on. She was
Yeah.
just, yeah. I think from what my family has told me now, they thought it was just like a phase.
Mm.
They're like, oh, he's just experimenting. He's just doing some things like, he's gonna grow out of it.
Yeah.
And at that age, they've caught me, in my bedroom, knocked out, just laying on my bed. They try to wake me up, but couldn't. But again, they were just like, oh, he's just like, phase type thing, and
Yeah.
kind of just let it keep going.
So, with that scenario, though, I mean, like, what you would recommend being that? Like, was there something that could have happened? Like, if they caught you using this, and they, a lot of parents that aren't familiar with addiction or any of these things, I think maybe it's more understood now, but maybe still not because it's still, I mean, happening. I still hear these stories. But is there something that a family could have done, a mom or dad in that situation that could have altered your path if they knew?
In the positive or negative way? Positive.
Yeah, positive.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was addicted to cocaine and crack and things like that.
Okay.
So he knew. I think he was pretty aware of like the drugs I was taking and what they were.
Yeah.
Um,
But he was kind of using and sick as well.
yeah, and I think he was more on the lines of like, he's okay, like he's just experimenting.
Yeah.
It'll pass, you know.
He's like, "What's the connect, man?"
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I ended up, using with my dad later in life. Not at that age though, but um, they did offer me treatment really young.
Oh.
Not as an adolescent, but as soon as I turned 18, within a couple months, actually, I went to my first treatment center.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
So, I mean, say like, all right, you're caught on the bed and they know that you're experimenting. What is something that you think from looking back now that of someone can maybe learn from that? That because there's a lot of different things that are happening right now. Which this kratom 7 hydroxy is, people can get it. I mean, very easy at any smoke shop now,
Yeah,
and that's I've seen that introduce people to opiates in itself, right?
100%.
What
Yeah.
is something that you think that could have been different or someone can learn from that situation as a parent?
Um, I think it would have been positive if my dad or my mom would have sat me down and been like, "Hey, like we need to know like more of what's going on here.
Mm,
Like what are you using and like how long have you been using?" And
yeah,
because looking back at it, I was pretty naive about the situation too. I didn't realize I was becoming
same.
addicted. I didn't realize how powerful these substances were I was taking,
Mm,
and I could have died many times at that age. I had no tolerance. I'm coming home after school, just taking a bunch of pills and then just getting, all
yeah,
messed up. And if they would have sat me down and probably talked to me more about what was going on, I think it could have, changed
yeah.
changed things a bit.
If they had some consequences, like I mean, when you have a free range parenting, as they would say, like you really don't have like I was saying like curfew. I was kind of able to do whatever I wanted,
Hmm.
and didn't really have that. They split up. Very similar situation. I got into opiates, had no idea until I was. So I rode a lot of BMX back in the day, and I was smoking here with my brother,
Hmm.
and I started taking pills. But then he graduated that. He ended up doing it. I did it with him. I went to go ride some bikes with some friends, and they came over to my house like, "Hey, Preston, let's go ride. We're gonna build some dirt jumps." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sick." And my friend said, "Well, you're going through withdrawals." I said, "Well, what's
Mm.
that?" I
Mm.
didn't even know what withdrawals were, and I had
Yeah.
no idea. So
Yeah.
I think like on this topic right now is educating, like kids. I mean, like you had no understanding of it either,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and then the parents don't really necessarily know, but they need to be educated.
Yeah. And I think if I would have maybe known, like, hey, this is going to lead me to full blown
Mm,
addiction and a life of torment and like hardship, I think I would have made some different choices.
yeah,
At the time, I was just really focused on what it was doing for me, getting me out of myself, escaping from the trauma that
yeah,
I was experiencing and the pain I was reliving. And that was very attractive to me at the time. My father was, not out of the picture completely, but he was doing his own things with sex addictions and
mm,
other drug addictions, and was very preoccupied.
mm.
And ultimately, I was probably just looking for some guidance from him too.
You just didn't really have it.
Yeah.
Anyone like you had no male role model in your life, or did you? Or
Um. So I have a twin brother and then another older brother who's 8 years older than me. He was kind of in that age where he's like, I just want to be with my friends. I don't want to be like hanging with my little brothers
mm.
type thing.
Was he using?
No, no, all my siblings, they smoke weed here and there,
Yeah.
and my oldest brother, drinks with his wife sometimes, but none of them are addicts or alcoholics.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're the only one that kind of took that path.
Yeah, the only one, yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
then you ended up taking these pills, and that, like you said, like in looking back now, what the pills were doing also were making you feel okay from how life was and what
Hmm.
you went through. And like you probably didn't have awareness at the time it was doing that, but just
No.
subconsciously just doing it made you
Yeah.
feel okay.
Yeah, and I've come to kind of look at like people, well, for myself, like I took it one time and immediately wanted to get more and make sure I had them.
Mm,
And people who I've heard similar stories from in that aspect, it kind of, they usually have a lot of trauma, heavy trauma behind that they're subconsciously escaping from, that they don't know that that's what they're doing.
yeah,
Because half the time I was just like blacked out in a mindset where I couldn't even enjoy
yeah,
the pills or the high. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I was definitely escaping from the pain that I was feeling, as like, from things that happened when I was younger.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now, and then moving forward, so did it progress into other types of opiates
Yeah,
or?
so it started with like, Norcos and Xanax, and then it quickly went to, Oxys and Opanas
Yeah.
and Xanax, and then uh, the years kind of moved forward, and they started putting restrictions on the pills you could get, right? And I quickly went to heroin,
Okay.
started smoking heroin and shooting heroin,
Yeah.
and what came with that was, shooting cocaine too, and then
Mm.
smoking crack, and essentially like what my drugs of choice were at the end were heroin, fentanyl, and crack, and yeah,
Wow.
shooting or smoking.
And how old are you now?
32.
32.
Mm-hmm.
And have you done, like, have you ever experienced life that for a good amount of time sober in the past?
The longest I've had is 10 months.
10 months.
Yeah, I've never been able to get the year yet.
Wow.
I've been I I pretty much lost all my 20s to treatment and drug addiction. Yeah,
So you've done a lot of treatment.
I've done a lot of treatment in and out. Um, Unfortunately, though, in my early 20s, my family wanted me in treatment because it was the only place they knew I was safe,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to be sober then. So I was constantly, put into treatment to please my family, but not actually doing work on myself.
Yeah.
And then I'd get out or I'd step down in the level of care, and I would quickly relapse.
Mm. So this is, so I mean, how much time sober do you have now?
Almost 5 months.
Almost 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so this year mark you've never really got to.
Never got that
Yeah.
one.
I mean, it is a day by day thing, or just ends up becoming a way of life,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So as we're talking about, like, you have to, we're talking about trauma and how these substances mask a lot of it, and they work to not feel these things and feeling like not comfortable in your own freaking skin.
Mm-hmm.
During this last 5 months, have you experienced with therapy and maybe step work or any of these types of things that like you kind of went inward?
Yeah. So I've worked my steps, and I continue to do 10, 11, 12. Right. I'm actively looking for sponsees. Um, the steps have provided a lot of insight on the way I act,
Oh,
right, and the way my entitlement and expectations. Although, like the work I've done around trauma came more through working with
yeah.
therapists and doing things around like EMDR.
Oh, you've done EMDR?
I've done EMDR,
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
and those are the things I found to make it like okay for me to talk about the traumatic things I've been through and not go into like a state of
Yeah.
wanting to run away from it.
Yeah. So you have so okay, that's the difference. So the difference between a sponsor and therapy, someone has like a degree or a lot of experience in that type. Have you felt a difference? What's your observation from a sponsor and step work and working with a clinician?
A clinician, in my eyes, is there to help me navigate through the trauma, understand it, and then move past it, right? And a sponsor is somebody that just takes me through the steps and teaches me how to do that with other people.
Okay. And so are you going to keep, do you find that you will continue to do therapy? Is there one that outweighs the other that's more beneficial at a certain point?
Um,
Are they simultaneously thing you think?
Definitely simultaneous, but I think with like the way I've been feeling and the way I've been moving forward, I don't think I'll have to be doing therapy like forever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if it's intended to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I've gotten a lot of what I needed from my therapy,
Mm.
and from doing that. And definitely, I'll probably lean more heavier on helping other people through the 12 steps,
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
You know,
So you're sponsoring people right now.
I have I have three sponsees.
Yeah.
Um, One was here recently. He went out.
Yeah.
Another one is still here in Twilight, but he moved out. and then I have a third one who I meet up with on Tuesdays who's doing the work. But it's hard to find guys that want to do the work.
You know.
I've been in and out of the program since I was 18, and I didn't start doing the work until just like a year or two ago. So
Yeah.
I
And
get
that's the
it.
thing, you said it, is when you have someone that's willing to do it, the work, it's just so nice. You know,
Yeah.
you could see it
Hmm.
when someone's really serious about it. You can see it the way they sit, the way they speak. It's yeah, it's pretty amazing. So now, right now, have you now reintegrating back into life? How's the career side? How's your hobbies? How's all that going?
Well, I'm really big into BMX motorcycles,
Oh, you
things.
are?
Yeah, and my career, I work down at the docks.
Mm,
And my family also has some businesses that they run up in LA that I've worked at in the past. I think I'll be here for a bit longer though, because I'm dealing with some court stuff for my last relapse.
okay.
And I don't necessarily like bringing that stuff up because we all know people that are in the meetings that are there with court cards, right?
Yeah.
But like, I'm here to like get my life better, you know, get away from using and drinking,
Yeah.
but also like take care of the court stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't get court ordered to come, um, but it's a bonus being here for it.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, see, I've seen people with court ordered and I mean, so much sobriety, man. That's the
yeah, and
thing
they
that
do
got them.
great. Yeah, yeah.
You know, they got to
Mhm.
experience this other version of themselves. Like, because, yeah, I think, a big part of Lucas has been masked for a long time,
Yeah.
and then people come into this life. I mean, and this new experience is like sober. And I was with a guy who's 68 years old, been using since he was 13. And
Wow.
I asked him, what's your purpose and these deep questions and who are you and all these, what do you want to be? He's like, I don't even know. I'm 68 years old.
Wow.
I mean, you got to think too, like you've been numb and sedating for a very long time, and then you come and you're raw and sober, and music's different, and
Yeah.
colors are vibrant, and
Yeah.
you feel everything, and a lot of people end up becoming like a kid again. Like everything's so fun. Like it's like I love that you like action sports type stuff because it's like you get
Yeah.
to be a kid again and have fun and play.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
definitely need to find that like adrenaline through something else too.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like I go back a lot and think about that stuff, because like a year and a half ago, I was in a place of like, yeah, I was at a different treatment center and my life was going real well, and I was in my program helping others, sponsoring people. And when I went back to work, I started drifting away from the program, and in that I ended up catching 2 felonies,
oh wow,
and I've never really been in trouble with the law before. I've always,
got lucky.
yeah, got lucky, but at the same time, I wasn't really doing things, like I would drive under the influence and stuff, right? But like, I wasn't like robbing people or
Yeah,
hurting
yeah,
people, like intentionally. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And um, the judge was talking to me, and he's like, "Hey man, I need you to realize like how close you were to me having to sentence you to life right now in prison. Like,
Mm.
I got a DUI, I hit some lady, and her car flipped on the freeway,
Oh,
and it could have went a much different way.
wow.
Luckily she only like got a fracture,
Hmm.
and but she could have died.
Yeah,
And um,
I got real. Huh.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Uh, it just makes you think like, wow, like it's not worth it.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-mm.
we never think we're gonna go like smoke, drink, whatever it's gonna be, and get behind the wheel and hit somebody and hurt them like that.
Yeah.
We never think it'll happen, and it almost did.
Mm.
You know, yeah,
Wow, man. Yeah, you did get lucky because I do know someone else that did a similar scenario, and they're looking at 20 years right now
yeah.
in treatment, knowing they have to go and do this.
Wow,
So
wow,
yeah, I mean that gets real. All of a sudden, you're in that situation. You're like, wow, man. I mean, because I mean, there's so much to look forward to when you're, sober, and if you can be around the right people that are, I don't say dreamers, but are living it and are living this awesome life, and it's like, wow, like you can see this, you can see these people doing these things, and it's really inspiring. Um, has there been anyone that that you've surrounded yourself with that has been attractive to you, like, when you're out, like social media is a really cool thing because you can go out and see people living this awesome life and it
Hmm.
looks so attractive that you want this. Like going back into using drugs and all of these things, like it's just we know it sucks. It's just fucking miserable. So and then all of this thing, like, dude, you literally can do so many incredible things and feel.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was this thing that you knowing that? I guarantee you knew it when their last treatment center when you went out.
Hmm.
What was the thing that you found was the reason of why you ended up going using? You pinpoint that?
Yeah, it was. I hadn't really like coped with the loss of my dad. My dad passed away like 2.5 or 3 years ago,
Oh
almost now,
man.
and it was his birthday came up, and it was like back when I had relapsed. It was his second birthday
Mm,
without him being around, and the same thing happened his first birthday when he had passed away.
mm,
I went out and I was like, damn, I don't want this to happen again.
yeah.
And I've already talked to my sponsor about it. He was like, dude, why didn't you call me?
Mm,
He's like, you could have came and stayed on my couch for a week, so we could get you through this. And he said, if you need to do that for the next 10 years, you could come stay on my couch.
wow.
He's like, well, make sure you can get through this and you don't have to keep going out.
Mm,
And like, I just, did what I think a lot of people do. I was like, oh, I got it. Like, I'll be okay.
yeah.
And didn't reach out.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I went out and, yeah, the same. Just only a few days after is when I got the DUI
Mm,
and hurt that lady and got the great bodily injury charge with it. So
damn, man. So now you have a pinpointed this thing that you feel this. That's how it always goes. You have a thought, which triggers an emotion, which triggers a reaction, and that reaction is going into use. And
hmm.
so you are like phasing out of this old version of Lucas of when you would feel a certain way. You knew, and you were so programmed. A lot of addicts is when I feel this certain way. Oh, it's uncomfortable,
Yeah,
and what
very.
makes me feel okay is using these substances.
Hmm.
And so that's a big thing that's gonna really help some other people. Like, hey, look, this is how it is, man. Like the moment that you feel this emotion, which is life's gonna happen, dude. Shit happens. More people are gonna pass. Situations, breakups, whatever you name it. Shit happens and to do multiple repetitions of like because you can be triggered every single day on something and the fear or having
Certainly.
these emotions and using these tools that when the time comes you're so prepared, you've done so many little micro wins and reps,
Yeah.
then the big thing happens.
Yeah, and like through working my steps, right, participating in my recovery,
Yeah.
like the promises that are in the 12-step program
Mm.
are true. I know you know that.
Paco
Like,
was just talking about that. Yeah.
yeah, like the obsession is gone, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that gets me in that thought process of like, dang, it would be nice to not feel this right now are heavy experiences like loss
Yeah.
or trauma that's been really heavy, but like the day-to-day activities and existing now, right, doesn't make me want to just go get loaded like it used to.
Yeah. So what is something now? Like what is an example of some when you're feeling a certain way? Like what are some ways that get you out of that and get you that you've been using like, when you're feeling a certain way?
I'll try to be of service. That's the biggest thing that helps me.
Get out of yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here that are, younger than me,
Yeah.
and I try to help them out as much as I can.
Mm,
It helps me by helping them.
dang. So that's one of the big thing that gets you out. That's huge because there's so much access to people that want something.
Yeah.
So human connection is one of them. Is there another form of practice that you like that you do?
Hobbies for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like exercising. My shoulder's pretty messed up from when I got arrested.
Mm.
Uh, when the cops arrested me for that charge, I got a torn labrum and a torn
Why they
rotator
they
cuff.
drop you or something or they're aggressive?
I was blacked out, so I don't know
Uh,
100%,
yeah.
but I'm sure they were pretty aggressive with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But normally exercise, hobbies, my motorcycle stuff. I had my motorcycles down here. I was riding,
Mm.
but when I went to court a couple weeks back, they took my license, so
Mm.
I had to put it away for now.
Yeah. So do
Um,
you have your car and everything now, or
yeah, it's up at my mom's house right
oh,
now. Yeah, she's
so
holding on to him up there.
are you gonna come skydiving or what?
When's that?
Not this weekend, but the following.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been offered it before.
Have you?
I have, and I told the guy, I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm down,
Yeah.
And then the day came, and I was like, I'm too scared.
I get it, man. For sure.
You do it often?
Yeah, man. I just went last weekend.
No way.
I've been doing it for like 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
Skydive Elsinore on Lake Elsinore, like an hour
Oh,
from here.
there's this guy Eric I know that goes all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do you know him?
I wonder if I know.
He's got long hair.
Gosh, it's a pretty small community in a way. I don't know. I've been out there for like 10 years. I've been jumping for a while, man.
Yeah, I'm sure he's seen you. I'll ask him.
Yeah,
I'll
he
ask
definitely
him.
knows I don't have that epic journey for sure. We
Yeah,
do all the different events out there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, dude, come on, like, let's go. And he showed me the
Dang.
video of him doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't know. Like,
It's
you
a
got to really trust what's going on up
yeah.
there. You know what I mean?
Total, man. It's a real deal,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a drug for sure.
yeah.
And yeah, if you want to go where not this weekend, but what I want to do is we all go out and do a jump together, and then road trip out and go out and camp out in Joshua Tree and just
Wow.
just
Is,
for the sunset. And,
is Andrew going?
yeah, I mean I had a list of like 8 or 9 people that Henry brought over to me that want to go.
Wow. Okay.
So and then I'm trying to get as many people. So that's like 8 or 9 from here, and then I got 5 or 6 others. So I probably have close to like 20 people. So everyone goes out and does a jump. And I mean, I've had events where I've had over 100 people. We all go out and do a jump or jump all day.
Yeah.
And then we all go out and camp and do something sick as like a big community of people. I don't know
Dang.
how I've got over 1,000 people to jump out of airplanes, dude, just extended the offer, but somehow people still do it, man.
I know it's a bucket list item for a lot of
It
people,
is.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's definitely a bucket list item of mine. I think I gotta definitely try to push through that and do it,
Yeah.
like,
You'll be fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's the ultimate, man. Like I'm out jumping on Saturday, and I was really conscious of like my mind going into my jump, and it's the best place for me to really challenge myself with fear, because like if I can do these really interesting things with my mind and calm myself, like I'm peeking out of the plane, like spotting where we're gonna jump before we exit,
yeah,
and my on the way up, your mind does all these things, all this fear will say all these stupid things, and I can quiet it up there, and it's the ultimate test to really try to reprogram yourself. Because if I want to go off and do anything else in life, I'm afraid of everything. Yet I have this relationship with fear,
wow.
because every time I've gotten on the other side of it, man, like it just another version of me, another version. I proved to myself, and it's just a whole way of life that's
That's kind of what my friend Eric said too. He's like, it did something to me, man. Like it helped me grow, like it grow in a big way. And
it does.
wow,
Yeah. So sit with it.
okay,
Yeah, if it calls to you, man, we're doing it. And I mean, if that one doesn't, dude, like man, I'll literally, yeah, I'm sure, dude. You come with Eric and I, and I'll go and jump with him. He's licensed, right?
uh, I know he was doing the classes to become licensed when
Okay.
I was there a year ago, so he may be now.
Okay.
He may be now.
Okay. So if he's newly licensed, then I probably wouldn't know him if he's yeah, because they wear like the blue suits.
Yeah,
And,
he's newly licensed.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, if he's been around a little bit, then I would. But yeah, man, if he ends up wanting to do it too, or come out and do a jump, or wherever he's at, we can do it.
You do solo jumping?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need a tandem anymore?
I have like 750 jumps,
What?
which is a baby in
It
terms.
is?
Yeah, like my other buddies, I have a buddy who has 21,000,
Oh wow.
and then other friends have thousands of jumps.
Oh
You gotta
wow.
think like BMX, motocross, like we can spend hours training and
Yeah.
riding.
Mhm.
That I get 40 seconds.
That's
So
true. That's
yesterday or
true.
Saturday, I did a couple jumps. I had 80 seconds to learn something, and I landed. Oh fuck,
Yeah.
I blew that. But it's a sport that is fascinating, man.
So that's how fast you go out the plane, you're done in 40 seconds?
Yeah.
That's it? Wow.
So 40,
Huh.
50 seconds, depending on how you're flying, if it's belly or standing.
Yeah.
But tandem is probably around 40, 50 seconds, and then you got about 4 minutes of flying around town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sick.
Hmm.
Yeah. We're getting you there, man. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
so
That
all
sounds
right.
pretty fun though.
So now we're leaving off with this. Like, what was the biggest thing that, like, how, like experiencing recovery and who you are today, and if someone is out there currently in that like pit of pain and struggling, like what is something that helped you and something that you can say to maybe give a little inspiration, you being there yourself,
Um,
like what got you through, what was that thing that really helped that you make this leap to get into treatment and do that.
I didn't want to feel the way I felt anymore,
Yeah.
and I knew, like from the bits of sobriety I'd had before, I knew that there was a much better life
Mm.
outside of drinking and using that was available to me, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but more so, I think almost everybody that's an addict or in addiction knows that that's not what their purpose is on the planet, right? And
Mm.
they know that there's a different life out there for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just for me in particular, there were certain times where the drugs just had a certain pull on me, and I needed somebody to help me
Yeah.
get away from it and literally pull me out of
Mm.
whatever I was doing and be like, let's go. We're putting you into a treatment center right now.
Mm. So you're
And
accepting help.
yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah,
you're gonna get it offered to you. Like, hey, look, man, let me help you.
100%. People were offering me help all the time for years. My family would always ask me, Luke, do you want to go to treatment? Do you want to go to treatment? And I'd be like, nah, I got it. I got it. Like, I'm going to cut back. Like, I'm going to do
I'm gonna
that.
taper off.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
taper off,
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
I knew I was lying to them. Like, I knew it, and
Tough.
um, there were maybe a couple times in there where I actually did try, but ultimately I'm just like, giving away another prized possession of mine to go pick up more dope.
Yeah.
But what it was, yeah, ultimately accepting the help that's offered,
Yeah.
and believing in myself too.
How
Right?
awesome is it waking up not in withdrawals and having to use a substance, dude? Ugh.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You
Oh.
know,
Ugh.
there was a there was like 15 years there where I never was able to sleep with that naturally.
Yeah.
I'd always have to be on something to fall asleep. And even a couple times in the past in recovery, I'd have to be on sleep meds. And like this time, I had to got off all the stuff, right?
No Suboxone or
Yeah,
none.
and I just sleep, and
Damn.
it's
It
nice.
that's the biggest thing too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people forget that they go off and all this stuff, but like the physical dependence part, man, of like you don't have to wake up. Like you can go anywhere and you don't have to go if you want to go on a road trip, you don't have to have your dope
Mm-hmm.
and pills to function, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is massive. And I think a lot of people like I hear their stories, but I never hear that mentioned. I'm like, dude, you don't have to wake up and take this to get out of bed and have the chills and cold sweats and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
so
know how many
nice.
family vacations I've missed, like with my family, because I couldn't go because I don't want to bring heroin on the plane, whatever it
Yeah.
was. I didn't want to. I couldn't do that. I didn't want to risk, like, getting
Yeah.
arrested on the plane or running out, and I had to like stay back from a lot of amazing vacations that my family members went on, and a lot that I missed with my dad in the last years of his life too.
Yeah, dude.
And that's a big regret I have for sure.
Yeah.
I passed up on a lot of things to stay a slave to using an opiate.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
And now you're like now with having this chance to experience things, like are you more present with family and actually taking the experiences serious?
Yeah, yeah.
Huge.
I try to be as engaged as I can when I'm there.
Huh.
And my sponsor always tells me, look at what you can bring to the situation.
Huh.
Be of service to them. Don't just go and be present and just like, take from the situation. Try to offer something to them every time you see them.
It's gotta be so big for your mom.
Yeah,
It's gotta be just like, oh, thank you, God. Like that's just gotta be so incredible.
yeah.
I mean, and your brothers, because my brother passed from a fentanyl overdose, and
No way. I didn't know that.
yeah, man, dad from suicide too. Like first year of sobriety too. I was like April 4th, I got sober 2014, and then December 21st, my dad hung himself. That was like first
Wow.
year, and I was like,
Wow.
damn, I got hit with it. And then my brother passed in 2019, and it was a big deal, man. But like I was saying, I had so many reps of doing so many healthy things for myself that I love my beach runs, and I jump in the ocean every morning. It's a small beach run, but the ocean, I pray, and it's my little mini baptism type of deal.
Wow. That's cool.
My brother passed, and I woke up that morning crying. I heard it like 8 o'clock at night. I was told that he passed, and I woke up that next morning, and all the lights went off. That I jumped in the ocean, and that was it. I woke up and just naturally did it.
Wow.
You know.
Huh.
So,
Stuck with it.
dude, micro wins, bro. Yeah.
That was one of the same traumas I experienced when I was younger. My dad attempted suicide. You know, um, he developed a lot of mental health issues from smoking crack,
Yeah.
and ultimately some of those mental health issues led him to trying to take his life. And then after he made it through that, right? But after that, he was never the same.
No.
And
Crazy.
it carried a big weight on me and all my siblings.
Mm.
It was hard seeing him like that.
Yeah.
Going from the person he was to somebody who was just very closed off and quiet and timid.
Mm.
And he looked like he was just. Always full of fear a lot.
He's gotta be proud of you though. They are. I mean, they gotta be. There's a part like there's something magical going on there.
Yeah,
you can
for
tune
sure.
into that, you know?
Hmm.
I mean, dude, I'm super inspired by you just sitting here, man. I'm grateful to do this.
Hey, me
Thank you,
too.
brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.